I had gotten to a point where I was walking in direct opposition to God, and God basically said, if you want to walk away from me, that's fine. This is what you'll get. And that ended up with me on a hospital bed. I was a good kid, a picture-perfect Christian guy, and pursuing God, but then simultaneously, the doubts that I had just began to grow, and I did not really know how to handle them. I didn't know how to get those questions answered, and so as they began more or less to fester in me, on the outside I looked like everything was going great, I was doing the right things, but internally my trust in God was almost nothing. I felt that He was not a good God. He was not the type of God that I want to follow, and it led me to eventually say, I'm done with this. I'm out of here. I can't do this anymore. If this is true, I can't follow this. As I walked away from God, He basically left me to my own devices, and during this period of doubts, I was for about 7 years a competitive fighter, and I would go out on the weekends and get in fights at bars with people, and just kind of a dark place, and there was a lot of anger involved in that, a lot of pride and arrogance, and just kind of a dark place that I was at. And one night I ended up getting hurt pretty bad, and I got kicked in the face and had a pretty bad concussion. And from that, my next memory is waking up in the hospital bed. And I just remember the Holy Spirit just speaking so clearly into my heart in that moment. And He just said, this is what you get. This is what you will get, Ryan, if you run away from me. You'll be empty, and you will be broken, and you will have nothing at the end. And it was just such a clear moment of God speaking into my heart, and was a big turning point. He spun me back around towards Him. And it wasn't 180 degrees in one day. It was several years of Him sanctifying me. But now, where I am today, ultimately, the peace that He has brought me is not in getting the perfect answers that I want for some of those doubts. Ultimately, He has turned my eyes from that and put them on Christ on the cross. And if Christ is truly our God, and He came to this earth, was tortured and murdered on our behalf, in our place, and died in that way, then that's a God I can believe in, and that's a God I can trust.